They told us it was a flood hazard, that my natural spring would damage the neighborhood. So the HOA acted on their own initiative, without permission, without request. I woke up one morning to discover my spring had been drained. The water source my family had owned for generations, eliminated. Pipes, trenches, redirects, all covert. Undercover. They even said it was done for the safety of the community. But that was not the truth. The fact? My spring made my land worth more. Cleaner, greener, and a notch better than the rest. They despised that. They disliked that I was not a member of their HOA. I had the only parcel of land they could not dominate, and they could not tolerate it. I made complaints. I contacted city inspectors. Nobody wanted to take action. The HOA claimed it was done legally, but I was sure they cut corners. They accessed the spring without permits, installed piping under other people's properties, and diverted the water into their community park as if it belonged to them. I even caught one of their contractors trespassing with a shovel. And so I documented it all. Every trench, every pipe, every instance where water levels on my property had decreased. I photographed. I saved time-stamped videos. I took samples and had them analyzed, all proving my water had been diverted. And then I waited, because I had something they didn't. That spring wasn't any puddle. It was part of a deep vein of groundwater that supplied the entire region. You tinker with it, and you interfere with the balance. Take it too far, and you risk saturation and collapse. And sure enough, the symptoms arrived. The first was that a few yards in their area remained waterlogged. Then puddles started to develop after light rains. Their beautiful park became mush. Residents were complaining about soggy lawns and odd smells, but the HOA assured them everything was okay. Then the cracks, shifting foundations, flooding basements, mold oozing up drywall. All of a sudden, the same individuals who sucked my spring dry were having contractors call to drain their lawns. And I hadn't even raised a finger. When I brought suit, it was solid. They invaded my property, caused damage to it, took my water, and caused environmental harm. I had evidence of all of it. The court ordered an independent environmental assessment. Their report did not lie. The diversion of the spring did waterlog low-lying areas in the neighborhood. And that was not even the most horrific part. The fix? Digging up almost every yard, removing illegal piping, and restoring the spring's natural flow. That meant tearing up lawns, sidewalks, and, in some cases, foundations. Thousands of dollars per home, all paid by the HOA. And guess what? Insurance refused to cover it, because it was done without proper permits. In the meantime, my spring was rejuvenated. The water ran again, pure and powerful. I've planted trees, renewed the wetlands, and even received a small grant for ecological conservation. My property was nicer than ever. And as for the HOA, their park is a fenced-in mud hole. Homeowners are outraged. Some are selling underwater. And the HOA board? Entirely replaced. Because they couldn't leave well enough alone. They tapped my spring. I provided them swamps.